I'll be working through the Calculator Workshop Basics. To start with, I'm looking at the keyboard. This is a TI-84, but it is virtually identical to the TI-83 and TI-83 Plus. Keyboards organized in a particular pattern. Here are the normal keys you would see on a scientific calculator, and then we have other keys that are unique to graphing calculators. Be careful to press things in order. If at any time you find yourself somewhere you do not want to be, you can always press second quit to return to the home screen. If you don't like what's on your screen, use the key clear. To start with, to turn your calculator on, we have the on key. To turn it off, you have to first press the second key and then the off key, and then on to turn it on again. You can darken your screen by pressing second up arrow. You can do that repeatedly, and you can lighten your screen by pressing second down arrow. And again, you can do that repeatedly. So to start with, we're going to find the square root of 9. To do that, the square root key here is one of the second key functions, so we'll press second, the x squared key to get at the square root, the 9, and it's probably best to go ahead and close the parenthesis. There's no equal key, you may notice, on the graphing calculator. Instead, we use the enter key to execute the command and get our result. The square root of 9 is 3. Notice now we also have a delete key, DEL here, and up above that it says insert, or inserting. So what we're going to do is type in a long series of numbers and entries, and we're going to make a mistake. So I'm going to first clear my screen here and clear my key press. So I'm going to press the second key. Notice this is different from the subtract key. So negative 2 plus 3 paren 4, and then the subtract key, not the negative key, 2 close paren plus 9. What we did is we put in a 4 where we meant to put in a 5. So what I'm going to do is use the left arrow key, move back until I'm right on top of the 4, and I can replace it with a 5 and hit enter to get my calculation. Now let's do that again. This time, negative 2 plus 3 5. What I'm doing here is forgetting my parenthesis. Subtract 2, close parenthesis, plus 9. Now to put that parenthesis back in, what I can do is cursor back again, and I want to stop on the entry that is right after what I want to squeeze in front of, and then I press second, insert, and then parenthesis, and I can squeeze in that missing 5 and hit enter. Okay, deleting, well again, we'll enter things incorrectly. Negative 2 plus 3 paren 5 7 subtract 2 close paren plus 9. So this time I've accidentally put in an extra 7. And again, if I notice this, I can just cursor back and press the whoops, I cursored back too far. Let me just clear that and try that again. Negative 2 plus 3 close parenthesis 57 subtract 2 close parenthesis plus 9. Okay, I'll pay attention to what I'm doing. So I can cursor back, so I'm on top of the 7 that I want to delete, and then press the delete key. Okay, now we're going to copy an entry, negative 2 plus okay, so this time I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And now after I've hit enter, I've noticed I've made a mistake. So to go back, I can press second enter. That gives me entry. It brings back my previous leave typed entry, and now I can go back, make my repair, and hit enter. You can actually do the second entry multiple times and back up several different entries. Should be a little bit boring on ours because we've been typing the same expression in multiple times. There we go. There's our square root of 9. We can go back to things that were done to this calculator before it was last turned off. We don't want to see those. Let's clear those out. Let's clear the whole screen here. Okay. Okay. We're now at example 6, fractions. And let me clear the key press history here also. So I'm trying to calculate 11 subtract 3 all over 4. So here I'm going to need to use some parentheses for the numerator. Parenthesis 11, subtract 3, close parenthesis, divided by 4. Enter. If I were to type it in without the parentheses, 11 subtract 3 over 4, with the order of operations, the calculator is going to do the 3 divide 4 first for 0.75, and then do 11 subtract 0.75 for 10.25. So we need the parentheses to tell the calculator where the numerator begins and ends. So example 7 here, a little more complicated. 3 plus 5 pi. Pi is up here above the caret key. So I'll press second caret to get the pi. Close parenthesis, divide. And now I'm going to need parentheses for the denominator also. 4 subtract 6. And then get my entry. This is an approximation because we have an irrational number pi in our calculation. Now this key here, let's come back to it, the exponent key. We can do 3 exponent of 4 is 81 because that's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Squares, we have a shortcut key. I can do 7.3, and then this key allows us to get the power of 2 by hitting only one key. Of course, could get the same result by going 7.3, the caret key, and then the 2. Okay, roots are actually a different type of exponent. We have square roots, we have cube roots, we have fourth roots. The cube root is 7. There's a couple ways you can do this. One way you can do it is to go into the math menu, and we do have a cube root option here, number 4. We can do the cube root of 7. Sometimes that's hard to find, so it's often easier to just do 7 to the power of 1/3, because an exponent of 1/3 is the same thing as a cube root. The parentheses around the 1/3 are necessary. Again, otherwise the calculator will do 7 to the power of 1 and then take the result divided by 3. Square roots, we do have a square root key here, which we can get by doing the second square root. And what's my problem there? Second square root of 4 squared subtract 2 times 5, close parentheses. And because we've got a calculation going on inside the square root, we do want to have the parentheses to make it clear. And I see I've got an error here, don't I? But I can go back and fix it. There we go. Okay, storing's handy when you've got a lot of numbers you're trying to remember. Clear things out here. So I'm going to store -2 into the storage space A. So, I'm sorry, -12. -12, store alpha A. And then we can press enter, and then every time we type the letter A, the calculator will put in a -12. So we could do 19 alpha A, and our result there, -228, is 19 times -12. Okay. Another nice shortcut is to grab an answer, or something we've calculated before, and use it again in another calculation. So first, let's do the cube root of 2 plus 3 times 6. So we'll do 2 plus 3 times 6 to the power of 1/3. There's our cube root. Now that answer we're going to want to use in our next problem, which is 2 divided by that. So we can do 2 divided by second answer, and it, let me get there, second answer. There we go. And I'll grab the most recently calculated value and enter that.